important to always be in a constant connection with that little girl inside, because that is where your imagination is. That is where your creativity is. And if you disconnect from that part of you, your creativity goes with it, your imagination goes with it. You remember when we were 7 and 8, we thought any and everything was possible. And then we became adults and we began to limit ourselves, and we began to build thresholds. Oh, we can't go that far, we can't do all of that. That sounds crazy. But when we were 7 and 8 years old, anything was possible.
Every great story starts with a voice that dares to be heard, a voice that carries wisdom, strength, and hope. My name is Nancy Jones, and I'm the founder of the CLIC, the Community Life Improvement Center. The CLIC is a nonprofit organization dedicated to working with youth and families, but it all started with the mission to empower young girls. At the CLIC, we believe in the power of community, where people and places come together to create an environment where culture is born and developed. We recognize that every individual has something special to offer, a unique gift that only comes from them. And because there's always room for growth in the way we think, behave, and work together, the CLIC serves as a center for transformation, where genuine connections and strategic collaboration allows us to rebuild communities from the inside out, offering them the opportunity to learn script writing, acting, video editing, and more. Our academy becomes a space where creativity meets emotional well-being, where young individuals are empowered to tell their own stories and shape their futures through the power of media. Believe and Blossom is more than just a documentary. It's a journey of self-discovery. We challenge 22 young girls to step into the shoes of powerful women in history, to not only tell their stories, but to find their voices in the process. With the support of their mothers and the guidance of our media therapists, these girls experienced something truly transformational. The Community Life Improvement Center, CLIC, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that seeks to meet the basic psychological and self-fulfillment needs of underserved communities, including low-income individuals, ethnic minorities, women, and youth. Through our in-person workshops, online courses, fundraising projects, and content creation programs, we equip these groups to be catalysts of positive change, not just locally, but globally. Our work spans community development, personal growth, mentoring programs for both boys and girls, affordable housing initiatives, media training, and more. This is the heartbeat of the CLIC, creating spaces where youth can believe in themselves and blossom into the leaders, visionaries, and change makers they were meant to be. Believe and Blossom isn't just a documentary, it's a conversation, and we want you to be a part of it. As you watch these young girls step into the shoes of powerful women in history, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Who inspired you the most? What moments moved you? How do you see yourself in their journey? We'll provide some prompts to assist you as well. Your voice matters just as much as theirs. So like, comment, share, and engage. Let's celebrate these girls together and keep this conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more powerful stories like this. We're building something special, and we want you to be a part of it. This project wouldn't be what it is without the incredible women who poured their time, talent, and hearts into these girls. First, let me brag on Nicole Hawkins, an absolute powerhouse of a scriptwriter. Week after week after week, she worked with these young ladies, guiding them in crafting their monologues and teaching them how to take their words from ideas to impactful performances. She didn't just teach them how to write, she showed them how to own their stories with confidence and power. And then there's Jill Moore, a motivational mentor like no other. Jill was the fire that kept these girls going. She uplifted them, challenged them, and made sure they knew their voices mattered. She reminded them that their potential is limitless and that they are more than capable of standing tall in their greatness. And I can't say enough about Eddie Esperance, our incredible media therapist. Eddie was the heart of this experience, helping these girls navigate their emotions, break through personal barriers, and truly connect with the stories they were telling. She created a safe space for them to express, heal, and grow. And that impact will stay with them far beyond this project. Nicole, Jill, and Eddie, 3 phenomenal women who didn't just help shape this documentary, they helped shape the young women who brought it to life. We are beyond grateful for all of them.
What you wanted, I know at 11 years old, I wanted to travel, and I'll never let go of that part of me. And now I'm traveling. It took some time. But because I stayed in constant connection with that little girl that saw herself traveling the world one day, I never let go of that idea. And that's why it's so important to not let go of your little girl, because that's where your dreams are. You gotta stay in constant connection with her.
One of the most powerful aspects of this project was the media therapy component, which gave these girls more than just skills to perform. It gave them a space to process their emotions, build confidence, and connect deeply with the women they chose to portray, each bringing their own energy, creativity, and personal challenges. Through the process, we saw real transformation. One girl who chose Simone Biles struggled with self-doubt and feeling like she wasn't good enough. But as she studied Simone's history, the resilience, the setbacks, and the comebacks, she started to see those same qualities in herself. By the time she performed, she didn't just recite words, she embodied strength. Another girl chose Zora Neale Hurston because she loved writing, but was afraid of how others would judge her work. With the help of media therapy, she realized that just like Zora, her voice mattered. And by the end, she was proud of her storytelling. Then there was the girl who picked Harriet Tubman, someone who had been through personal struggles of her own. At first, she was quiet and hesitant, but as she continued to work through the emotions of Harriet's bravery and sacrifice, she blossomed. And let's talk about the girl who chose Missy Elliott. She was full of personality, but struggled with expressing herself on camera. Media therapy helped her to push past those insecurities, and she ended up delivering a fun, bold, and unforgettable performance. Of course, we also had girls who, through this journey, realized that they weren't ready to be in front of the camera, and we respected their privacy. Not everyone needs the spotlight to grow. And for some, just participating in the process was a victory. In the end, 4 girls stood out as the top performers and won the challenge for the best monologue presentations. But the truth is, they all won something bigger: confidence, emotional growth, and the realization that their voices have power. That's what media therapy is all about. It's not just about learning how to perform, it's about learning how to believe in yourself.
The Believe and Blossom Challenge. I feel like this time around for the girls and the leader, she found certain things in Believe and Blossom, which is Miss Eddie, I gotta say her name. She just brought out the growth and the maturity of these young ladies. These young ladies, they are amazing. At 11 years old, you already have your business. You communicate well. You know what you want. You know how you want it. And it's just like Eddie has just kind of made these girls believe in themselves even more. And just like a flower, she nurtured them. And now that it's towards the end of it, they believe, they blossom, and now they're continuing to grow from it.
What advice do you have for other girls your age that are interested in art?
I would tell them, just keep pushing, believe in yourself. You don't need anybody's acceptance except for your own. And do what you love doing. It's not about what other people see in you or what they think about you. It's what you think about yourself. If you're interested in art and pursue that, there's so many different ways to do art. You could do video, acting, painting. There's so many different ways. So whatever you feel most connected to, you can do that.
One of the best pieces of advice I've ever received came from my grandmother, Maddie Murkison. She used to tell me, "Girl, you're not better than anyone, and no one is better than you." That wisdom has stayed with me throughout my entire life. It's a reminder to stay humble, to treat everyone with respect, and to never shrink myself for anyone. I carry that lesson into everything I do, including this project. The girls in Believe and Blossom are stepping into the shoes of great women in history, but what they're also learning is that they too have greatness inside of them. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received from a woman? Drop it in the comments below. I know there's some wisdom out there that needs to be shared.
So the advice that I would give for other moms raising girls in this society is, one, making sure that they're heard, hearing them. Like, our kids, they deal with so much more stuff than what we dealt with, so I think that's important. And also with listening, you can gain interest, and from having interest, then you're able to give them those exposure opportunities. So with Trinity, like, she's very creative, and she's been exploring with video. So this challenge was just awesome to be able to have her be a part of. Lastly, I would say making sure that they're affirmed. So it's so much outside noise. So making sure they can be secure in themselves and really fostering that confidence.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.
One of the most beautiful moments during this journey happened completely unplanned. During our last gathering, a mother and daughter happened to see what we were doing. They were just walking through the mall, working with the girls at our facility, and instead of just watching from the sidelines, we invited them in. They shared their own experiences, and the mother offered some simple but powerful advice. Rough times are just a moment in time, and you'll get past it. That message hit home for so many of our girls. In this process, we've seen girls push through self-doubt, fear, and frustration. Some struggled with their confidence. Some had difficulty expressing themselves. But what they all learned is that challenges do not define you. How you overcome them does. That mother's words remind us all that no matter what we face, it won't last forever. And I hope that sticks with every girl who is a part of this project. If you've ever been through a tough time and made it through, drop a comment and share your story. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. What would you tell her about being a woman that would empower her and make her feel like she can make it?
It's just the fact that it's just a moment in time. You know, if you believe in yourself and if you could just get past this moment, you'll get to another moment and it's going to be better. But you have to realize that it's just a moment in time and don't think that this is forever. And this is the big picture. This is just a moment in time. Get past it.
One of the most important questions we asked the girls during this project was, who is a woman that inspires you when things get tough? We wanted them to think about someone whose story could help them push through challenges, who reminded them that rough times are just a moment in time and you can get past it. And let me tell you, we were so surprised by who they chose. Of course, we had some powerful historical figures like Harriet Tubman, who literally fought through impossible circumstances, and Rosa Parks, who showed the world what quiet strength looks like. But then we had girls choosing artists like Missy Elliott because she overcame personal struggles and still became a legend. Others picked Zora Neale Hurston because she dared to tell stories in a time when people tried to silence voices like hers. The choices were as unique as the girls themselves. And that's what made this so special. It wasn't about picking a famous name. It was about finding a woman whose journey spoke to them personally. Someone who they could look to when life got hard. So now, I want to ask you, who is the woman that inspires you when times get tough? Drop her name in the comments below and let's celebrate these incredible women together.
My character was Missy Elliott.
Okay.
I picked her because she's like one of the trendsetters. Like every time a new song comes out, like Throw It Back or Cool Off, she made those like 5 years ago and people are still doing it.
One of the most beautiful things about this project was seeing how each girl expressed herself in her own way. Some girls chose to dance, Some performed skits, some poured their emotions into poetry, and every single one of them brought something unique to the table. But what really made this special was the parents. Seeing moms jump in, helping their daughters rehearse, adjusting costumes, giving words of encouragement, it was the powerful reminder that when we uplift young girls, we uplift entire families. This wasn't just about performing a monologue. It was about building confidence, embracing creativity, and bringing families closer together. That's the magic of Believe and Blossom. Parents, mentors, friends, when you show up for a young person in your life, it makes all the difference. Who's someone that encouraged you when you were younger? Drop their name in the comments and let's honor them today.
Isn't your cousin supposed to be coming over tonight? Yeah, but I highly doubt he'll even show up.
I chose Mary and Martha. I did a monologue for the two of them. And I know that certain Bible characters like them don't get acknowledged enough. So I wanted to get highlighted, so I did a highlight on them to see the power of that story.
Okay, so my character was Charlotte E. Ray. She was the first African American woman lawyer in the United States. And I chose her because I never heard of her, so I thought it would be good to bring some exposure to her for people who haven't heard of her, and I also wanted to learn more myself too. Also, she just seemed really interesting. She had a backstory, and she wasn't just a lawyer, she was also a woman suffrage activist. She did other things too. She was the first woman admitted into the DC bar. So I just felt like there's a lot of things that she accomplished that deserve to be heard.
One of the most amazing things we saw throughout this program was how it helped girls who were shy and introverted find their voice. At the beginning, some of these girls barely wanted to speak up in a group discussion. They would look down, whisper their lines, or hesitate when it was their turn. But as the weeks went by, through media therapy, encouragement, and just having a safe space to express themselves, we saw a shift. There was one girl who wouldn't even make eye contact when she started. By the end, she stood tall, projected her voice, and delivered her monologue like she owned it. Another girl who was hesitant to be on the camera at all ended up doing a poetry piece. This wasn't just about performance, it was about building confidence, self-expression, and showing these girls that their voice matters. Watching them step into their power was the most rewarding part of this entire journey. To anyone out there who has ever felt unheard or afraid to speak up, just know your voice is powerful, and when you're ready to use it, the world will listen.
I want to ask you, what would be your advice for another girl your age who is wanting to get into drawing but she's nervous about her skill level? What would you say to that girl?
I would say that it takes time to bring up the courage to show people what you want to do, and that I would recommend them, to do it step by step, because throwing your whole self out there can be overwhelming. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. But the best part is just to be yourself, because nobody out there is like you.
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that confidence isn't built in isolation. It takes a family, a village, and a community to help a girl truly believe in herself. When a young girl sees her family supporting her, cheering her on, and investing in her dreams, she learns that she's worthy. When she's surrounded by a village of mentors, teachers, and role models who pour into her, she begins to understand her value. And when a community stands behind her, reminding her that she has a place in this world, she walks differently. She walks with self-respect, strength, and purpose. That's exactly what we created with Believe and Blossom. This wasn't just a program, it was a village in action. We saw moms helping daughters rehearse. We saw mentors pouring into these girls. We saw young ladies lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down. Girls don't just wake up one day and believe in themselves. It's taught, it's nurtured, and reinforced by the people around them. And that's why it's so important that we as families and as a community continue to show up for them. Who was a part of your village growing up? Who encouraged you to be bold, confident, and proud of who you are? Drop their name in the comments below and let's celebrate them together.
How would you advise other moms, other mothers who are raising their daughters in this society?
So, like I was saying, the other moms so beautifully said all of the things that I would echo. It's just really like paying attention to your kids, blocking out all the negative influences out there. That's really critical. I think when you allow them to be connected with certain things like social media and outside influences, that you're not pouring into them and spending time developing them, that's really like a mistake. You really have to develop your children.
Absolutely.
And look at what their gifts are. Focus on that. Keep them busy. Keep them exploring. Keep them curious. And try not to let those outside influences determine who they are to become, but allow them to flourish and to flower and blossom like you guys allow us to do, with the gifts that they have. So really allow them to develop and see their own gifts.
A girl's growth is a lot like a flower's journey. First, there's the planting. That's when she's just discovering who she is, taking in everything around her, and starting to find her roots. This stage is delicate. She needs nurturing, encouragement, and the right environment to grow strong. Then comes the watering. This is where she's being poured into by her family, mentors, teachers, and experiences. Every word of encouragement, every opportunity, every lesson learned helps her grow a little taller. Next, she needs sunshine. That's the love, the support, and the belief that she can and will flourish. Without it, growth can feel impossible. But when she's surrounded by the right light, that's when she starts to stretch, stand tall, and embrace who she truly is. And then finally, the blossoming. This is when she steps into her confidence and finds her voice and becomes everything she was meant to be. And just like a flower, when she blooms, she doesn't just keep it to herself. Her presence, her beauty, and her strength inspire those around her. That's what we've seen in these girls throughout Believe and Blossom. Some started as seeds, unsure and quiet, but with the right care, the right guidance, and the right community around them, they grew. And now they're blooming into strong, confident, and powerful young women. If you've ever had someone pour into you and help you grow, drop their names down in the comments. Put some fire in the comments or a flower emoji, your favorite emoji in the comment to honor them. Let's celebrate the power of believing and blossoming together. There we go. Thank you, Layla. A single flower is beautiful on its own, right? But a garden is powerful. A garden is a community, a place where flowers grow together, where each one brings its own color, shape, and fragrance, but they all thrive side by side. That's what Believe and Blossom is all about. Women and girls standing together, appreciating each other, and building each other up. Just like flowers, we don't compete for the sunlight, we share it. We don't tear each other down, we make space for each other to grow. Every girl in this documentary is a part of that garden, even the ones that weren't seen. Every mother, mentor, and friend who encouraged them is a part of that garden. And you, our audience, our supporters, our believers are a part of this garden too. And what better time to celebrate this growth than during Women's History Month and International Women's Day on March 8th. This project is our way of honoring the women who paved the way, the girls who are stepping into their power, and the legacy of strength, resilience, and sisterhood that continues to bloom. So as we close this journey, I want to leave you with this. Keep watering the girls and the women in your life. Keep planting seeds of encouragement. Keep shining your light so others can grow. Because when we do that, we don't just raise strong girls, we build a thriving, unstoppable community. If this documentary touched you in any way, drop a fire, let us know in the comments, and share it with someone who needs to see it. Let's keep growing together and continue to celebrate the power of women this month, this year, and for generations to come. Happy International Women's Day and happy Women's History Month to you from the CLIC and Believe in Blossom.
And Believe in Blossom, it has ran its course, but believe me, those young ladies are going to blossom from what they learn.